I'm Etienne from Ettienne's Foods, and today we're making pizza dough. That's right, we're making pizza dough. Arguably the most important part of your pizza is the base, because if that's not right, you're never going to have a nice pizza. Full disclaimer though, I did not come up with this recipe. I've been a huge fan of Vito Iacopelli, and I've been subscribed to his YouTube channel for years. I'll tag him in this post and go and follow him and subscribe to his YouTube channel. He's a maestro of pizza. Let me tell you what we're using. We're starting off with a poulish that I made. This is a pre-ferment. It's like a sponge, and this is going to make it so that you can make your pizza dough in one day. No 48, 72 hour ferment. It's a pain, it's a schlep. You never have the space in your fridge, and it's for professional kitchens. But here we've got 300 grams of flour, 300 grams of water, 5 grams of instant yeast, and 5 grams of honey or golden syrup if you don't have. That'll really just help it. Mix it all together, and I've left it overnight in the fridge, and you can see it's alive. And this is the yeast that's going to make your pizza dough delicious. I'm using cake flour from Eureka Mills. I only use stone ground flour in my recipes because the bleach stuff is terrible. Don't use it. So what we've got 1.2 kilograms of cake flour, 40 grams of salt, 700 grams of water at room temperature, and then your poulish that you made the night before. That's what goes into your pizza dough. Okay, so we start. Take your water, 700 grams of water, and put it in your bowl. Put it in the bottom of the bowl. Now we're going to get this lovely poulish. Get it all in there. I've made many different recipes for pizza bases, and this one tops them all, especially for the home cook. You're going to get in there, give it a mix up, take your time, don't rush it, softly. It's going to melt away, all get incorporated here into your water. Remember, it's alive, be kind. Okay, once it's all nicely incorporated, we're going to go in with half the flour. It just makes it easier to mix. Roughly half the flour. Let's get it all mixed up. Nicely wet. And at this point we're going to add our salt, 40 grams of sea salt. Sprinkle it over. If you don't put the salt in, your bases are going to be very bland. It's going to taste terrible. Mix the salt in. There we go. Then here we go, the rest of the flour. Bit of a workout. Give it a nice mix up, and at some point you're going to ditch the spatula, get in there with your hand. Now all you're thinking is getting all the flour incorporated, that everything's nice and wet. You want to see no dry flour. As Vito says, pizza is serious business. So focus. Right, we'll turn it out onto the counter. Make sure we get all of it there. Now we're just going to work it all together, flip it over and push it down, fold it over, push it down. And again, it's this raggedy dough at the moment. You're wanting to get all of it nicely, one homogeneous lump of flour. All of this must get incorporated. Work it for a couple of minutes, doesn't take too long. Get all of this in there. And you want to see all this flour incorporated nicely into the same lump. Comes together a couple of minutes, doesn't take long at all, so just be patient. It's quite a wet dough, and that's what we want. Make it soft, make it supple, make it delicious. There we go. Come together now. Get all of this flour in here. There you have it. One ball of flour. There it goes. Now you can see it's quite sticky. What we want is we want it to be nice and smooth. So what we're going to do is nothing. Cover it up and leave it for 15 minutes. Okay, it's been about 15 minutes. Let's take a look. Alright, now we want to keep the dough, the top part of the dough on top. I'm going to take the scraper and we're just going to pull it together. Let it stretch a bit. Basically we want to stretch it out. I like to do it with my hands like this. Grab it, pull it towards me like that. As you do that, gradually start to see that the dough starts to get smooth. Sort of just flip it 90 degrees, both hands behind, pull it towards you, flip it 90 degrees, keeping the top on the top. We're not folding it over, we're not kneading it, just really pulling it together. As you do that, keep on doing that. The top will gradually get smoother and smoother. This one's not going to be perfect. There we are. But you can see the main thing is that it's not sticky anymore. So you know that it's busy doing its thing. Now we're going to let it relax even further. A little bit of olive oil. Put it in our bowl. A little bit of wipe. Take the dough. Pop it in there. Now we're going to leave it for about half an hour to completely rest the wires a little bit. Then it should get to the point where we can start working with it. Okay, it's been a little bit longer than half an hour. The dough's been chilling out. So now we're going to take it out the bowl. And we're going to keep the top facing up. Now you'll notice if you watch Vito's video, his dough's a lot smoother. And that's for two reasons. Firstly, he's using a 00 flour, which is a lot more fine, and he's been doing it for 4 generations, so he's a lot better than me. But it doesn't matter, it's still going to work. Okay, what you want to do is we want to cut the dough up into 3 sort of sections, like that. Now we're going to start making the balls. And what we're going to do, take it and sort of fold it in underneath, so if you're making a balloon. If you ever watched them making mozzarella, it's similar. So under it goes, bring it around and sort of push it through. I sort of measured with my hand, that sort of size, and then pinch it off. There it is, and you can see already it's getting a little bit smoother. So I'll show you that again. Work the dough in underneath. See the size? A little bit more. And pinch it off. Okay. I don't like too big pizzas, make them nice and small. Or what you can do is you can take your piece of dough, get it to the size you want, turn it upside down, and then start at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, work your way around and tuck the edges in. Tuck the edges in, and what you're doing now is you're busy pulling that nice and smooth. Okay? In we go. Just pinch that, and then you've got another smooth dough ball. We're going to do that with all of these. We're going to end up with probably about 10 dough balls, but I'm not going to make you watch that. Okay, got them all portioned out now. What I like to do is I like to take the balls and just pull them towards myself a little bit on the counter, like we did earlier when it was a big lump of dough. And you'll see as you do that, now the smoothness starts to come. It starts to look a little bit more like it does when the professionals do it. There we are. Starts to get nice and smooth, and go through them all like that. We'll just do it quickly. So this is a nice plump little dough ball. Again, I'm not going to make you watch all of it, but that's the idea. We'll come back. Right, now we've got these beautiful little balls of dough here, and now we want to let them rise so that we can make pizza. So what I've done, there's a lot of things you can do. You can put them in pans. The professionals have specific trays that they put them in, but we don't have that space in our houses, most of us, or in our fridges. So I went out and I got a bunch of these. They're cheap as chips, and you can reuse them. No single-use plastic mentality here. You can reuse them. So what we'll do, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11. Should have 11 of these. And we do. We just get a bit of olive oil in them. Just a drop. Rub it all up, nicely lubricated with the oil so that the balls don't stick. These are great because they can stack in your fridge, they can even go in your freezer, and this dough freezes fantastically. So make a batch, make 10 dough balls when you make it. It's quite a lot of work, so get it done, freeze it, the ones you don't use, and take it out the night before, pop it in the fridge, next day, you're ready. There we have it, 11 little babies ready to rise and make pizzas from. I'm not making pizza tonight, I'm going to be making tomorrow though, so I'm going to wait until it's risen nicely, and once it's where I want it, I'll take it and put it in the fridge. The ones I want, ones I'm going to use tomorrow, I'm going to make 11 pizzas tomorrow, so the rest will freeze. And they're ready for a weeknight pizza on last minute. Quickly take it out, defrost it, and it's fantastic. Try this recipe. Of all the recipes I've ever tried, this is the most delicious.